Hey guys, it's the Gundam Boy today, and do you like having the ability to blow stuff up? Don't like all the extra weight breaking your back? Like having the stopping power of a recoilless rifle but enjoy the guidance of the spear? Do you hate this shotgun? Well then, let me introduce you to the Commando! This video was chosen by this commenter. If you want me to do something for you guys, be sure to leave it down below so I can make a video on it. So, looking at the general information about this weapon, this is the rich man's disposable rocket and the broke man's spear. Looking at the weapon, you can toggle the laser guidance, or you can turn it off without the laser. But that's kind of the whole deal with this weapon. Fun fact, this was the Commando that was notorious for killing automaton bases in one shot, which was not its intention, but this eventually led to all of the rockets and most heavy weapons getting the ability to damage building structures. Now, this rocket may not have the same stopping power as the rest of its family, but its brain is bigger. What's its combat role? I've used it to kill gunships, automaton bases, striders, and tanks. It's just a good anti-tank and base killer. And if some of those dirty illuminate squids get too close to you, I found that popping this rocket launcher into those overseers is a good way to tell them off. So we will look at one of the first factions that we always deal with, is the bugs. Looking at the first enemy... Oh, come on, we know where this is going. This thing will pop any chaff enemy, but hear me out. Shooting them all with this rocket launcher is kinda pointless. When it comes to bug structures, you can rely on this rocket launcher to pop them in a couple of shots. When it comes to destroying bug holes, you just need to be able to see them, because bug holes are under the ground. And it should work in one shot, assuming that no one comes out the puppy garden. Get the fuck out of the way! And when it comes to killing chargers, 2 shots should typically kill it. Otherwise, good luck aiming, because 2 shots for its head. When it comes to dealing with the Bile Titan, aim for the head. Sometimes you'll miss because its tiny ass head is ironically really hard to hit. You'll miss sometimes, but you'll shred off the armor, letting you shoot its exposed goo. I think one of the few enemies it can struggle against for the bugs is going to be the Impalers, because they're so damn armored on their front, you have to wait for their you have to wait for the Impaler to go into attack so that you can see its eyes to really kill this guy effectively. Otherwise, you can aim for the other parts of its body with this rocket launcher just to open up some areas so that your teammates can shoot on it, or I don't know, wait for your airstrike to reload. It's really simple. And when it comes to dealing with Shriekers, I don't think this is really the weapon to use it on, because the Shriekers are just like a horde of bugs flying around you, and once they start swimming around you, you're gonna wish you had an airburst rocket launcher, because the Commando is not meant for fighting small hordes of bugs like this. And Stalkers, the glorified hunters that can turn invisible, pretty much get folded over in a couple of shots with this thing. Now, moving over to the automaton forces, we have the Trooper, and yeah, no big surprise, look at that, he's dead. Anything that's a chaff enemy on the bots, Devastators, Chainsaw Men, they're most likely to die in 1 or 2 shots depending on the variant. I know the shield guys are kind of a bastard, so good luck hitting them. When it comes to dealing with Hulks, they can die in 1 shot if you very precisely aim for that little face he has. So, PC players, 1 shot, controller players, several. You guys have to use controller. But realistically, if you're using Commando against a Hulk and you're having a hard time aiming for his face, you just take out his legs and run away. This big ass can't chase you once he's crippled. And when it comes to dealing with tanks, the top turret should typically go down in 2 shots from this weapon. I think it might even be 1 shot if you aim for the back of its head. When it comes to dealing with the automaton base turret, same thing can be said. 2 shots to the front, 1 shot I think from the back. When it comes to dealing with gunships, if you aim for their thrusters, it typically goes down to 1 shot, but keep in mind because this rocket may spin erratically if it loses its target while the gunship's moving. God, it reminds me of War Thunder. Factory Striders, you'll probably run out of ammo before you kill it, but you can target the top cannon, then shove a load right into the machine gun turrets, because after that it has nothing it can do to really hurt you other than step on you. And when it comes to dealing with baby Striders, these guys are pretty poppable when you fire a rocket, but I think it's kind of a waste of ammo because they feel like a chaff enemy more than actually a threat. I think the Commando is a pretty reliable weapon when you consider the fact that the automatons can shoot back. Sometimes you have Devastators off in the distance shooting at you guys. You may not have an AMR teammate or anybody with the range to take him down. But with this rocket launcher, you can effectively guide that missile towards the target and just blow those guys out of the water. Fuck you! This is like a good weapon for long-range engagements, especially if you guys are trying to pick off bases in the distance because you're too lazy to walk over. But overall, I think there's more things that the Commando can be used against in terms of dealing with the automatons. It's a great weapon. Now, going up against the Illuminate, mind you, what we are fighting right now is only a small fraction of its force, so I'll probably have to come back later and look at how the Commando fares against, well, the rest of the units that come in. But against the enemies we have the squids, and why do birds suddenly appear? These guys will get annihilated by the rocket launcher. I mean, they're just humans with zombified body parts, and it's a chaff enemy. I do notice that this is a good weapon to pull up on elevated ones, as they are just a pain to deal with. Though it's a little iffy trying to hit them. I would try to fire this weapon in like guided mode if you can. When it comes to dealing with Overseers, they can die sometimes in one hit. Try to aim for their head, but two should typically kill if not one. And the weapon I see this get the most utility out of killing is the tripods, because the tripods have several points that you can aim for. If you don't want their shield to go back, you can aim for their little horn on the top of their head, or you can aim for their legs for an insta-kill, but it will burn through all your shots when you come against one of these guys, so be sure to have another Commando lying around or swap to a good weapon. When it comes to taking out bases, you can't destroy any of the Illuminate ships from the side, but if you pop their shield down and you got a good angle, you could shoot right through the door. And when it comes against these little scout guys, I would just prefer to shoot them with my Senator, because what a waste of rocket on a giant starfish. Yay. But I'd say that the utility works really well in its favor against the squids. But we don't have the main fighting force yet, so you don't really know how well this weapon will fare against the other units. But that's the end of my video. Bye bye.